Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today, and today we are talking Pokemon Unite, as the newest character for Pokemon Unite has just been confirmed, and we have a release date for this character, and surprise, surprise, it is not Blastoise, it's Blissey. Let's break it all down here in this video. If you guys enjoy the video, of course, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new for daily Pokemon content. We've got a lot to unpack this week, as August 18th is going to be a release date for the newest character, Blissey, which is going to be pretty interesting. We finally get another support character that can go alongside Eldegoss as a healer. We're going to break down all the different moves that Blissey has and kind of what it does, some of the animations, and so on and so forth. But again, no Blastoise, which just simply leads me to believe that Blastoise has to be coming with the mobile launch, which is in September. That's our guess. But if you guys break down the timeline for Pokemon Unite, after week 1, they dropped Gardevoir. After week 2, they dropped the balance patch. Week 3 was silent. They didn't do anything, and now we're headed towards week 4. And again, August 18th is when Blissey is going to drop. So let's take a look at what's going on with Blissey here. We've got a handful of different images here that have leaked from a few weeks back of Blissey and the different moves that it has. We're gonna kind of break down Blissey's moveset and then talk a little bit about what I would recommend you run on it. Now, obviously, we haven't played it ourselves, but we can make some pretty safe assessments and guesses based on just knowing the game. At this point, I've got like 600 games played, so I have a good amount of knowledge at this point of Pokemon Unite. So first things first, Blissey's ability is Natural Cure, which removes status effects and it goes on cooldown. So you can get status and then have it go away, but there is a cooldown period, much like a lot of the held items and things like that. So once that cooldown resets, then you'll be able to take on another status. That actually kind of makes it an immediate, like, kind of check or response to Gengar, because obviously you won't be poisoned, so you'll stop its hex spam. But Blissey can do a lot of things, and I have a feeling this is going to be meta-changing with Blissey being added to the game. Boosted attack deals more damage, so it's just one of those things where you have your basic boosted attack, and on the third hit, you'll deal a little bit more damage. Skill 1 is Pound, which deals damage and slows. Very simple stuff. Skill 2 is Heal Pulse, which is going to heal allies over time. So right out the gates, you get Pound, you get Heal Pulse, so you can already see that Blissey is going to be healing its allies up, which is massive. Again, Eldegoss, the only Pokemon at this point in the game that can heal, which Eldegoss was really good. They nerfed it. It's still pretty good, but I think Blissey has a chance to be incredibly powerful. When you get to level 4, you get the upgrade of Egg Bomb, which is an AoE, or tackle enemies, skill shot, and knockback. So you basically throw the Egg Bomb, it knocks them back, and it slows them down if you get the plus. So if you get the upgraded version of Egg Bomb, you'll have a little slow there. Or you can utilize Helping Hand, which is going to increase the movement speed and attack speed of an ally. So you can actually choose an ally to boost their move speed and attack speed. And you also boost attack when duration ends, and then so yeah, let's recap that. Increase movement and attack speed of an ally, and then you boost attack when the duration ends. So when Helping Hand ends, you have boost attacks. When you get the upgraded variant of Helping Hand later on, you'll have boosted attacks dealing more damage. So that's your basic attack. You're going to be dealing more damage with Helping Hand. You also have level 6, you get access to Soft Boil, which is going to be one of the kind of bigger moves that I think Blissey runs. You stack up to 3 eggs and you throw them at their allies to heal them and yourself. At the upgraded version of this, you actually increase the number of eggs by 1. So you can ultimately have up to 4 eggs that you can utilize to heal your team. And you know that Pokemon Unite is all about team fights. It's all about those engagements that you have with your opponents. It's all about fighting for Dreadnought and Rotom and Zapdos, and being able to heal up to 3 allies on a soft boiled and even 4 in the late game. That could be game changing. Now, I don't have the percentage at which it heals. I don't know if we're going to get that until Blissey actually comes out. But either way, even if it's a 15% or 20% or 30% heal, even if it's potion, which is 12.5, I feel like that's pretty significant, especially if you can kind of like just keep chucking the eggs. That amount of health is actually massive. And then the last option you have is Heal Bell, which has removed CC and becomes CC immune for a short time. You can target on an ally. So you choose an ally to basically remove any sort of stuns or status or anything like that, which is insane, because if you have a situation where you're coordinated with a team and you know you have, let's give a good example here. Let's say that it's a Cinderace, right? And he's gonna try to hit off that Pyro or its Unite move into the Zapdos. You can Heal Bell your Cinderace to ensure that it can't be stunned, to guarantee that Unite move can go off, or whatever the strategy is there, which is big, especially in this game right now where CC, crowd control, stuns, all that stuff is so ridiculous. I mean, if you've ever been in a team fight, you know there's times where you just get stunned over and over and over again. You can't even move, and your health bar just gets depleted. So being able to remove that or heal with Soft Boiled, I think is going to make Blissey ridiculous. And its Unite move is Bliss Assistance, still unsure about the translation there. But you jump towards the ally, you shield them, you boost their attack and special attack, and then Blissey takes some of the damage dealt to the ally Pokemon. If you use it on an enemy, it knocks them back. So you can use it both offensively or defensively. My guess is using it more defensively is probably going to be advantageous. Being able to go towards your ally, give them a shield, boost their stats for an engagement, and then you're going to sponge some of the damage that they would be taking. That sounds ridiculous to me. I feel like Blissey could actually be a game changer in this game. And again, we talk about these supports, and you know, Mr. Mime is a support, but is it really? It's more of an offensive character. Wigglytuff is support, but Wigglytuff is probably more of an all-arounder at this point, given the buffs it has. It functions more as a defender than anything, and if you don't run, you know, Sing, it doesn't have any support moves. Eldegoss is a true support, right? Like, we know Eldegoss is a true support. Blissey is going to be a true support, just like Eldegoss is, and I think this is the perfect shakeup for the game. We absolutely need this character right now for the metagame, and I think it's going to make things so different for competitive Unite and just the ladder in general. I feel like Blissey could end up being one of the most powerful and impactful characters that gets added to the game in general. I'm really excited about it. I think this is going to be big. Now, you might be saying, okay, aDrive, well, what health items would you run on your Blissey? Well, I think it's pretty straightforward because I generally feel that most Pokemon should be running, if you're defensive or support, should be running the same held items. So first things first, you really want Buddy Barrier. Buddy Barrier gives you and your ally a shield when you go for your Unite move. That's just going to be a no-brainer, right? Buddy Barrier is probably the best item in the game right now, so I would definitely recommend Buddy Barrier. Focus Band most likely is going to be number 2. That's when you get knocked to a certain amount of HP, a low HP. You actually, for 3 seconds, gain a percentage of your HP back so you can stay in a fight longer. That's pretty much a staple on any support or defender Pokemon. And then the last item I would recommend, depending on how Blissey scales, you would either run XP Share, much like Eldegoss runs, or I could even see you running something like a Score Shield to give you a little bit more bulk. Obviously, Blissey's not going to be doing a ton of scoring itself, so I would say XP Share is probably good, but it depends on how you're coordinating your team and how you're strategizing. Generally, a Pokemon like this can fall a little bit behind and still be able to do what it needs to do. So those would be the items that I would be looking at. Like I said, Buddy Barrier for sure, Focus Band for sure. I mean, you pretty much have to run those two on every support and defender right now. And then last but not least, I think you could run XP Share or you could run Score Shield. I don't necessarily think Blissey's necessarily meant for scoring, but the way this game is kind of played out, Score Shield is so good. Like, and especially with Blissey's presumably insane HP stat, it's going to have a massive Score Shield. And because of that, it's going to be very difficult to break those scores, and it's going to be very advantageous for your team to be able to get those scores in. So that's a basic overview of Blissey. When it actually drops on the 18th, we're going to play it. It's going to be a little jumbled because the Pokemon Presents is coming out, and unfortunately, or fortunately, that is going to be my priority that day. So my Blissey coverage is probably going to be pushed back another day there in terms of how we're going to cover Blissey and play it and experiment with it, because I'm definitely going to be playing on the ladder with Blissey, but I got to focus on the Presents first. So that's everything you need to know about Blissey for Pokemon Unite. I hope this video was helpful. It was really exciting to see the news today. I'm super stoked about this character. I feel like it's going to change everything at Pokemon Unite in terms of how competitive teams are structured and how supports function, because this is a true support, and I think that that's what the game really needs, much like Eldegoss. If this video was helpful for you, hit that like button down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new for Pokemon Unite content pretty much every single day. You can tune into my live streams at twitch.tv/aDrive as well, where I stream Unite every single day. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching this one. Let me know your thoughts on Blissey in the comments section below. And that's going to be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.